Hello, hello. Welcome to LinkedIn Marketing Minis. I'm Karen Yankovich, and I am here with you every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern with a simple little tip to help you move your marketing forward and to get some mojo going and, in a way that's simple, implementable, and maybe shifting your mindset a little bit around some of this stuff. So I am live today. If you're watching me live, I'm live today on my Facebook business page, my Facebook group, which if you have not yet joined us, you should at linkedinforwomencommunity.com. I'm live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, or X, whatever we're calling Twitter these days. And if you are new to the series, you can go on over to YouTube. Actually, if you go to LinkedIn, if you go to marketingminis.com, hang on one second. If you go to marketingminis.com, you can binge it. This is September 25th. I've been live every day so far for the month of September. So you've got 25 short little videos you can binge, and hopefully you'll get you some really good tips to move your marketing forward. And really, I like to look at I like to look at Q4 as like the on-ramp to 2024, right? So there's certainly a lot we can accomplish in Q4. And these little tips are to help you kind of just start that process. So I'd love to see you implement some and let me know how they're going. I've got these outlined for the next couple of weeks at least. And if you have a topic that I haven't covered or that you'd like me to cover, let me know. Just DM me wherever you're watching this and I'll add it to my list. I've made a list, but I've got white space in there so that I can add in what you're looking for. So would love to do that. The other thing that I've been getting a lot of requests for is, all right, these little tips are great, but how do they all work together? So I created a short little video that you can check out at that link that's scrolling underneath of me, just to get a sense of how this all fits together. And if you watch that and you want to learn more about how I can help you with that, there's an opportunity to grab a spot on the calendar underneath that video. So what are we talking about today? Today, this is really an interesting one because this is at the heart. I probably have said this 3 times already, but this is at the heart of a lot of the work that I do. Many of the people that I work with are in some kind of career transition, right? We've heard about things like the great resignation, the great reshuffling. Now we're hearing about quiet quitting, right? And people are at their jobs, but they're not really loving what they're doing. And they're thinking about the fact that how can their next chapter be different than the last chapter, or maybe different than they imagined it would be, right? Maybe they thought their next chapter was going to be different, but now that they're doing what they're doing, they're thinking it needs to be something different. That is so many of the people I work with are in that situation. Sometimes it's just an income up leveling, right? Sometimes that transition isn't from corporate to entrepreneur. Sometimes it's just like leveling up your income. I've worked with people that have had to take a break in their career for whatever reason, right? Raise kids, take care of their parents, whatever. So so part of what they need to do is transition a little bit, right? They need to make that transition into the next chapter. That is the thing that most of the people that I work with have in common. And, here's the deal. LinkedIn is your best friend in this situation because if you just reach out to people via the phone or via social media or whatever, or even email, they don't really know who you are, right? They don't really know what's different about you. Maybe they remember you, right? But they remember what they used to know about you, right? They don't know what you're projecting into the future. And you've heard me talk about this on these videos before. Your LinkedIn profile should be written in a way that projects what you want into the future, right? Like dressing for the job you want. So you want to really create your profile in a way that it helps you with that transition. And it gives you the credibility that maybe you're feeling not so credible at yet, because remember, this is a transition, right? So you may not have a single solitary testimonial that, like, let's say you're going from corporate to consultant. Maybe you don't have a single solitary testimonial as a consultant. You've got the expertise. I know you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, but you're like, how do I get these clients when I don't, how do I market myself, right? LinkedIn is how you market yourself, right? This is where this is really powerful. So you want to create a profile that's not just attracting opportunities, but it's magnetizing them, right? We talked about this yesterday. We're magnetizing this. Top-notch summaries. We talked about that. You want to have, a great, solid visual impact on this, right? With your experience sections and maybe some media that you're adding to those sections, and your featured section, right? You want to be creating the brand of you on LinkedIn as you want it to be seen in your next chapter, right? Does that make sense? So it starts with your profile. This is the very first thing you should be doing. And here's the other thing, and this is so crazy because I talk to so many people each week about these kinds of things, and everybody's like, well, as soon as I get my website done, as soon as I do this, and as soon as I figure out my products and services, and I'm working with a coach that's helping me determine my signature system and all that stuff, right? And I'm not saying you don't need any of that stuff. I mean, I have a lot of that stuff. So it would be, out of integrity for me to say you don't need any of that stuff. But here's what I do know. You don't need it right away, right? What you need right away are clients. What you need right away is to get some cash coming in the door so that you can pay people to do some of that stuff, so that you can confidently move into this next chapter with the financial foundation that you're used to, right? Or maybe that you're not used to, that you haven't had before, but you're now, like, you've drawn the line in the sand. Now you're going to have that financial transition, right? So that first part of it is you want to have that profile so that you look worthy of people's time and people understand how you're showing up in the world for this next chapter. And then it comes down to, who do you need to get on your calendar? Right? It's not just connecting with people, it's researching it, being really intentional about these people. Like, if you belong to a chamber of commerce, don't connect with everyone. Go through the directory, look to see who are the people that can move the needle for you as you move into this next chapter. And it's probably not necessarily people that are going to sign a contract and give you their credit card, because the most beautiful way to get business in this crazy world we live in right now is that intimate referral-based marketing. So who is it? If you stay laser freaking focused on, like, let's say one 5K opportunity or 10K or 50K, whatever it works, whatever it is for you, right? Laser focused on one thing, not your suite of services, not your signature system, any of that stuff. You stay laser focused on one 5 or 10 or 20K, 5K opportunity. You write your profile as if you're positioned to help people with that one opportunity. And then you think about, who do I need to get on my calendar to help me land that one opportunity? This is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. And you're going to want to pay attention to the numbers. And I'm not really usually focused on numbers here, but as you're showing up and you're building your credibility, you want to look at, what are people looking at when they see? Are they resonating with my content? Are people looking at my profile? Are they booking calls? How many people? How many people looked at my profile this week? How many looked at them next week? Right? Is the engagement you're doing moving that needle that you want to move, so that you can land that 10K contract, so you can pay people to help you develop your signature system, right, and do your website and all that stuff. We talked about, one of the previous videos I did here was on your LinkedIn SSI score, your social selling index. That's one of the numbers you may want to pay attention to, right? Is that changing? Because this is how you shift the energy from who you used to be to who you're becoming. Okay. And there's, LinkedIn does a really nice job of giving us some analytics around these things. So pay attention to that, so that and the other thing that I would be paying attention to too is, as you're thinking about really strategically, who do you want to do outreach to with the goal? You shouldn't be doing outreach to anybody or connecting with anybody on LinkedIn that your goal in your head isn't to get them on your calendar. Now, that's not going to happen 100% of the time, right? But we're not just connecting with people for the sake of connecting with people. That being said, who's got a big network? Who's got a really good network? You want to connect with those people first, because that helps you with your network, right? These are the things that make this LinkedIn strategy the absolute thing you need to be doing as you move into whatever that next chapter is for you. Okay. This is the very first thing you should be doing. Not your website, not your suite of services, not your signature system, not your branding, not your colors. Who do you want to be, and who do you need to get on the calendar to land a client or two so you can pay people to do all that other stuff? This is how you do this profitably. This is how you start showing up more. You've probably heard me say on these things many, many times, I want there to be more wealthy women of influence in this world. This is how this happens. This is how this happens. I mean, listen, if you watch that video that's scrolling below, You'll hear me talk a little bit about how we can add PR into this and how this system all works together. But this is what you should be doing first and foremost. Okay. So I hope that that happens. I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know what you're waiting for. Your LinkedIn profile is not, nobody cares if you know Word or Excel. Nobody cares that you were a bookkeeper 20 years ago if that's not what you're doing right now. None of that matters. Write your profile as if you're positioning yourself for the work that you want, the job that you want, and then build relationships from that place, and everything will change. Okay. So I'm here for you. I'm here every morning with you. I'm happy to brainstorm if you're here live. I love your comments. So drop some comments in below wherever you're watching this, if you're watching it on the replay, and let me know what you think about this. And again, if you want to know how all this fits together, sluvideo.com, that's scrolling below. And I don't even want your email address. You just can click it and watch it. Like it's just free and open to the world. If you want to know what it looks like to get help, there's a link there to grab a spot on the calendar. Let's see what's coming up tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's a good one. See, I'm a little all over the place with these, but I did that by choice. I didn't want to make this. I didn't want the pressure, frankly, of having to make this a logical order, because then I'm stuck if I think of something down the road that I missed a month before, right? So tomorrow we're shifting gears a little bit, and we are going to be talking about how to use LinkedIn before, during, and after a conference. I know conference season is coming up, so this is the time. All right. So I will see you back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. And this is it. The number one thing you need to be doing if next chapter in your world is a little bit different than last chapter. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.